Doctor Sleep is the sequel to my favorite horror film and what I think is the best horror film ever made, The Shining. And it stars Ewan McGregor as an older Danny Torrance and Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. And an amazing performance by an actress, I cannot pronounce her name, but she was amazing in this film. It tells the story way later on of Danny Torrance when he's older. He's suffering through problems with alcohol, just like Jack did in The Shining, and he finds another girl who has the same ability that she can shine, and he tries to protect her from Rose the Hat and her gang of creepy people. And I love this film. It is in my top 5 of this year. Now, I have not read the book for Doctor Sleep, and I've read most of the book of The Shining, about 500 pages. I still have to finish it for a ranking I'm gonna do. And the original Shining is my favorite horror film of all time. So if this film sucked, I was not going to hold back. But I'm so glad this film was good, because The Shining is such an important film to me. It is just, I think, one of the best films ever made. In the top 10 best films ever made. It's a perfect film. There's not one problem with it. I rewatched it a few nights ago, and it's my birthday today, and I got the 4K today. And I'm gonna watch a few scenes of that to see how it looks. This is kind of a mixed thing before we go into my flaws. It's pretty slow up into a bit, but there are some great scares in this. And the original Shining to me isn't a scary film. Like, there's no jump scares, and in this there are jump scares. But The Shining, just the way they build tension, that's the scary part of it. The way that they build tension and they imply stuff, and just the end of it. And this film, although wasn't not exactly like that, it still made me happy because they used all the scares well. Mike Flanagan directed the hell out of this. He also edited it very well, and there's really only one scene, and it's in the third act where the editing felt kind of uneasy. And I don't know, I just kind of noticed that. I'm not gonna really make that as a flaw. That's something that stood out to me. And my only other really flaw with it is, this is not a spoiler. I do not consider this a spoiler, but in the very first bit, right after the title, they kind of show flashbacks to Danny when he's a kid, and they have to obviously use other actors because The Shining was made almost 40 years ago, and sometimes it seems like some of them are trying to do an impersonation of the other, and it kind of comes off a bit weird. And those scenes there's one that's definitely needed, but others that aren't exactly needed. And this is a 2.5-hour film, just like The Shining, and it's pretty slow, but that's a good thing because they build the character. They show you the older Danny Torrance and that he's suffering through some of the stuff that his father did, and I just loved it. The scares are so well done because I saw this with a few of my friends, and my one friend is such a pussy with horror movies that he was pretty scared to watch this, and he was holding his hat up and he was kind of shaking sometimes. Anytime I knew there was a jump scare coming, I kind of look at it, and then the second it happened, I look at him and he'd like jump like this, and it was pretty funny. I will admit, I did jump a few of the times. This film also features quite possibly the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in a film. Once you watch the film, you'll know exactly what I mean. I'm not going to say it, but it is one of, if not the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. None of that stuff really disturbs me, but this scene really did, which means it was shot well. The cinematography is beautiful, and they do mirror some of the shots in The Shining, and there's quite a bit of fan service, but it's so well done. The third act is my favorite third act of the year, I'd say, probably. I know Avengers Endgame, that was pretty good. Well, it was amazing, but it's between this and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for that third act. Either like the last 20 minutes of this film are just incredible, but the rest of the film is also incredible. They build up all these characters, the different ones. Ewan McGregor's character of Danny Torrance, he is fantastic as an older Danny Torrance. It shows that he goes through some of the stuff that his father did while also being his own character. And his performance, he has to hit a bunch of different emotions. Hi, Lilo. And he has some amazing scenes, including a scene with a cat. I think my favorite performance in this, and one that I think is definitely Oscar worthy, is Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. She is an incredible villain, one of the best of this year. I won't say exactly what she is because I didn't know, because I remember I watched the trailer back when it first came out and I had no clue this was going to be a thing. I made an Instagram post about it, and I think I was pretty worried about it. They did this so well, and they had to please so many different things. They had to please fans of The Shining film, fans of The Shining book and Doctor Sleep book, and Kubrick fans and Stephen King fans all in one. And I think, or at least for me, they found a way. I do prefer the film over the book, and I know Stephen King hates the movie, and there are tons of changes. And they even took some stuff from the book and put it into this one, which I was kind of surprised about. And I really did love Dr. Sleep. The writing is fantastic. Mike Flanagan wrote and directed and edited. I'm pretty sure he edited it too. It was edited very well, except for that one scene that kind of, I don't know, it just felt weird. Maybe that was kind of the point of it. I won't say what it is because it's kind of a spoiler, but this film has so many creepy things and so many things that just made me smile. Sometimes I heard stuff, or something would, I don't want to spoil it, something would come onto the screen, or some image would show up, and it just made me smile. Like, I grinned like a little kid in a candy store for a lot of the moments, and especially they do some really smart stuff, and some stuff that isn't always answered, kind of like the end of The Shining, which I'm glad about. They did this so well. It is a fantastic sequel, because I was worried, as I said. I was really worried that they could kind of mess some stuff up. Maybe if they tried to change stuff. They made a great horror film. Obviously, it's not as good as The Shining, but I don't think it's even possible to make a horror film as good as The Shining. I've seen it 3 times now. I love everything about that, and I love most things about this film. It is overall just a fantastic film. Please go support it. I know some people won't see it, but I think you should. You should watch The Shining before, because 2 of my friends, they didn't watch it, and they had to, like, my one friend, at one point she turned over, she kind of whispered, kind of explaining one thing that happens. But please, go see this film. It definitely deserves it. And please tell me if my videos sound better, because for my birthday I got this microphone, and I'm hoping that my videos sound better. I'm going to give Dr. Sleep an A. Thank you all for watching, and please tell me what you thought of this in the comments below. Oh, hi. And what do you like more? And if you've read the book, does this go well with the book? Did it not take stuff from the book like The Shining did, or did it go mostly from the book? Because I'm curious to see. I probably won't read the book, but I will finish The Shining, and I will do a ranking hopefully in the next few days once I watch the miniseries of The Shining, which I'm intrigued to see what that's like. But thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Over and out.